How am I living creatively during these times? Well, firstly, with our little 4-year-old, we're forced to be very creative. Some of the things that I have taken more time for is cooking and baking. I really enjoy baking, but now that I have a lot more time on my hands and a little helper by my side, I am being a little bit more creative with recipes that I can utilize the little hands and not make too much of a mess. But it also helps us with bonding and getting through some of the hours in the day. Keeping fit, doing some fitness, and trying to combine that as well, again, with my little one. And we try to do different things on a daily basis, just sharing ideas from different people. Now that Easter's coming up, of course, it's easier to focus on an Easter theme with bunnies and eggs and prepare for that. We have also done a lot of spring cleaning and a lot of little projects in the house, painting and moving furniture around and redecorating rooms. So that keeps us busy and keeps us sort of being as creative as we possibly can. What am I busy with sports-wise these days? So I play competitively in the Netherlands, and this has been fantastic to be part of a team that has an extreme desire to win and is extremely competitive. And hopefully at the end of this season we will promote into the Premier League, but we're just waiting as things have been put on hold. So besides playing, I'm also involved as an athlete's representative on the IOC steering committee, which is also a fantastic opportunity, and I've enjoyed working on this committee for the last few years. The exposure that I've had to phenomenal athletes and athletes representatives alike has been just an experience that I believe has added so much value to my development and to my life in general. And I also serve as a consultant for the African Hockey Athletes Committee. This is also a fantastic way of tying up my experience from the FIH Athletes Committee and the IOC Steering Committee, and help and contribute to African hockey. I also have a project in South Africa that I am currently working on. It started 2 years ago. It's called the MC8 project, and it is about integration in sport. It's about using hockey as the platform of integrating our communities. It's about the Green Park community and the Greater Durban North community, starting with my old school, Green Park Primary School, and my old hockey club, Riverside Hockey Club, and this partnership that we have established has been absolutely phenomenal, and we've had a great response from both the school, the club, and the parents involved, as well as the kids, of course. But basically the focus of this project is not only about development in the sport and about giving kids an opportunity, but it's about giving kids the opportunity to integrate and to learn some life skills that sport can bring and add value to your life. How do I feel about the current situation of South African women's hockey? I believe that we have a very promising future ahead of us. I think that it's an absolutely amazing opportunity to get into the Tokyo Games, and I hope that we are able to utilize that. I am extremely excited about the future, given the fact that we will host the next Women's Junior World Cup. I think that this is just something phenomenal, and I know that we have such a rich pool of talent coming through. So I hope that they will just utilize this opportunity and just show us what they got, because we do have an exciting future ahead of us. I remember playing my first caps, and I remember when I got to 50 caps, and one of the more experienced players, Kerry B, had said that you should always want the opposition to identify you and recognize you as one of the best players on the field. Those words always stayed with me, and if there's anything that I would like to see as an improvement in South African women's hockey, is to see a team of players who have that same approach individually of wanting the opposition to feel threatened by them, by wanting the opposition to identify them as a very important player on the field. It comes with a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of preparation, and just pushing each other to be the best. But if each individual has that approach, they will not be a national player, but they'll start becoming international players. And that identification of the difference between the two is something that I think a lot of athletes don't necessarily identify. So I would, if I want to see South African women's hockey improve, I think that one important aspect is that mental approach and that desire to not just be a national player, but to be an international player. I think that the end results then will follow, because that's also something that would be great to see. Getting more wins, that helps us get more ranking points and brings us back into the top 13, where we comfortably were. What was my reaction when major sporting events started getting cancelled? To be quite honest, I think that the decisions that have been made to cancel events or postpone major events like the Olympic Games is the best decision. It's about the athletes' welfare. It's also about the welfare of the people involved. And as we know, no event is possible without the volunteers, without medical staff, without your trainers and other chaperones and stakeholders. So I think that for the best interest of everybody's health and safety, postponing events or cancelling events is the best decision. I am, of course, disappointed, because it's fantastic as a sports fanatic to have lots of things to watch on TV and to watch live and also to look forward to. But given the times that we're all living in, I think that these are the best decisions that have been made, and I think that we all need to trust that, and we all need to respect that, and we need to respect the people that have had to make these difficult decisions. With the Olympic Games being postponed by a year, it is extremely difficult. I have a lot of respect for each country and the measures that they are taking to control and flatten the curve, but we also need to respect that this has a massive impact on all the athletes involved, and the coaches as well. I think that for athletes preparing for the Olympic Games, it's always fantastic knowing what your goal is, and now that the goal has been moved by a year, it's probably the best thing to, as we've always been told in hockey, control the controllables. And the one thing that you can control is the way you feel, the way you think, and the way you prepare. There's two ways that you could look at this and see all the negatives, or there's the other way and try and see the positives. An extra year of training, yes, maybe for some that is a real push, but we all know that 12 months or 15 months can make a huge difference in your preparation, and you try and utilize that in the positive light. We're all in this together, and that's also another positive, is knowing that the playing field is completely the same for every single person. And I think if an athlete is really struggling to stay focused, or to just with the mental health at this time, with the lockdown and the isolation that we're experiencing and that we're feeling, and the frustration of not being able to train to the level or quality that you're accustomed to, or that you would need on this stage of the timeline. I think that you need to seek the advice of the professionals. There are a lot of professionals out there who are offering their support to the athletes, and I think you need to lean on that as much as possible, because we all need each other right now, and we're only going to get through this and come out on the other end a lot stronger if we do it as a team, even in individual sports. It's good to lean on your support staff, and I think it is just tough, and sometimes we need to accept that, but just focus on the things that you can do that will bring you into a positive light and bring you into the best situation possible for yourself, so that 2021 will be a fantastic year, and that Tokyo will bring you all the things you have ever dreamt of. My advice to women in sport about achieving success would be know your why. If you know exactly why you are doing it, why you chose for this journey, and why you want success, you'll be able to overcome the difficult and challenging times, because it's not always easy. I think that something else that's really important is to set goals, smash them, and reset your goals again, and keep doing this until you reach a level of success that you're satisfied with. But also acknowledge that getting to the top is sometimes it's difficult, but it's sometimes easier than staying at the top. So you'll have to reset your goals and smash them again. Another thing that I have learned, and I think it's extremely valuable and can help to achieve success, is being comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's not about just taking talent and becoming a winner. You have to work hard. You have to accept criticism. You have to accept coaching and guidance, and sometimes it can make you feel uncomfortable, but if you accept it and become comfortable with that beforehand, it can also make it easier to achieve success. I would be extremely keen to get involved in South African sport development if I was ever presented that opportunity. I believe that sport is the most powerful tool and weapon that South Africa possesses. It has brought so much to our country as a whole, and to myself individually, and I would like to be involved in any opportunities that were presented to help and help other people experience the same effect that sport has had in my life, or something even greater. I believe that my experience internationally and locally can add value, and I'm extremely passionate about South Africa. I do have my own project that is focused on development, but if any other opportunities arose, I would be absolutely keen.